Hey there, welcome to another episode of Nutrition Talks with Jackie. For a couple of months, we've been talking about the importance of protein. We've finally made it to the final topic in this category of protein, and that's the role of protein in muscle gain. Last week, we reviewed the makeup of protein and looked at what sources of protein are most useful for gaining muscle. Next week, we'll finish up our series on protein by looking specifically at branched chain amino acids, BCAAs, and supplements. This week, we'll look at how much protein is needed in order to build muscle and when it should be consumed. Before we start, I want to remind you that I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. My master's degree is in instructional systems design, not nutrition. The majority of the information that I'll be sharing today comes from a sports nutrition course that I took a couple of years ago, and what I've learned from Herbalife sports nutrition doctors who work with professional and collegiate athletes. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. How much protein is required for muscle growth and why? Let's look first at the why. When we exercise, our muscles actually get little micro tears in them. Muscle mass is increased when those repairs are made. It's as if our brain says, okay, Mary's doing all kinds of crazy stuff and we're getting hurt. She needs more muscle to do all she wants to do. Let's protect ourselves and help her by building bigger and stronger. So how much protein is enough? And is there such a thing as too much? There's a difference here between the general population of exercisers, that's people like me who work out 1 to 2 hours a day, 4 to 6 times a week, and the professional or collegiate athlete who's training hard for 4 to 6 hours every single day. The general population, exercisers, not competitive athletes, only requires 35 to 40% of their total calories from protein in order to actually see active growth. Professional athletes require a little bit more, 45 to 50% of their calories from protein, depending on the type of sport. With sufficient protein and 6 to 8 weeks of intensive training, strength or resistance training, the athlete could see 40 up to 80% growth. And the range here has to do with the intensity of the training and genetics. So when should protein be consumed? I consulted 3 sources: the International Society of Sports Nutrition, the International Olympic Committee, and the American College of Sports Medicine. They don't all agree on everything. 2 of those sources recommend a small amount of protein before the workout, but no more than 20 grams for a 200-pound person. That's not much at all. All 3 agencies state that endurance athletes would benefit slightly from some protein during the workout, but all 3 agree that there's a 30-minute or so window of time after the workout when your body's most efficient with muscle repair and muscle building. Consuming 20 to 24 grams of a high-quality protein combined with carbohydrates in that time frame is sufficient to promote that recovery and repair. So not a whole lot. The remaining amount of protein needed for the day should be split between 3 to 5 meals. So loading up on your protein after your workout doesn't accomplish any more than sticking to those 20 to 24 grams combined with carbs. Besides the timing of protein, there's another factor to consider. Increasing the amount of testosterone promotes muscle growth because it encourages more protein synthesis, the making of proteins, putting together protein, and it aids with amino acid reutilization. Whew, isn't that a mouthful? What that means is every time muscle is broken down, amino acids are released. Testosterone helps our bodies reassemble those amino acids so they can be recycled, used again to build muscle. So how do you get more testosterone? The simplest, safest way is actually through exercise. We are designed so that the more we need, the more our body produces. And that goes for men and women. A diet too high in protein can actually reduce testosterone and slow muscle growth. So you don't want to overdo the amount of protein that you are consuming. All of this is really complicated for the average person. For those of us everyday athletes wanting to build some muscle, simply increase your protein from the normal 30% of your total calories to 35 to 40%. And you can get that increase simply by having a little extra protein before your workout and then a recovery shake afterwards. Make sure your recovery shake is a balanced ratio of carbs to protein, and I'll explain why next week when we're going to look at some branched chain amino acids and supplements. Okay, that's it for today. And like I said, next week we're going to look at BCAAs and supplements. In the meantime, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live, and let's stay fit for life.